Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety, June 5th, 2023 meeting. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Brian Doub.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing if you choose.
Thank you. I'd like to share a familiar scripture with us today, and it's found in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Those are words of wisdom to live by. Let's pray. Gracious Father, we invite your presence in this meeting today, and thank you that you listen to us. Help us to listen to each other. Enable us to acquire and understand the accurate information that is needed so that informed decisions can be made. Help us to hear the complete message being communicated without getting distracted by things that produce ineffective results. My prayer is that you direct the steps of this board as they proceed with the agenda at hand. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone. Please remind you to turn your cell phone ringers off. We'll begin with roll call.
Brian Doub.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Present.
Diane Phillips. Present. Jim Bear.
Okay, everyone has the minutes of the May 15th, 2015 regular meeting. Are there any 2023? Let's do that maybe. Wow, read that wrong. May 15th, 2023 regular meeting. Are there any additions and corrections to those?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. We have the bid opening for the resurfacing and the asphalt emulsion microsurface project.
This is all condition going. Let me see one in this one unless they got it somewhere else. It just might be the resurfacing.
This is the paving.
There's one, I think.
Yeah, I gotta find the total sheet.
They were supposed to submit that on top of their bid when they, part of their package, so you wouldn't be hunting around like that.
It's not on top. I've got the totals for each, but I don't have the totals for all. Let me see. On the, let's see, this one, I got which contract that was. O'Mara, Dave O'Mara, for the road resurfacing project, $524,790.40.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah.
$524,790.40.
Yes. Okay.
I'm seeing if there's a second one or not for the other one.
He's listed for the other one, but
So you'll have the names on these two sheets, the bidders list that I supplied, and these are actually the contractors that contacted us at Butler, Reverend, and Cypher to receive the bid documents.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that they bid today, because of course we didn't know until we opened them. So you may see, like, especially on the preservation project, there may only be one bidder for that.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't, there's a lot of pages, I don't see anything, but. So, miss anything? I do not see anything, so that would be paving only. And I made this.
All right, I got it.
Thank you.
I got it.
Okay. This is DL Construction Services,
DC.
DC. Looks like an L, sorry.
And I'm sorry, what was
No, it
that
is,
for?
it says DL on here. You've got DC on your sheet, but the return address says DL.
okay.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, I mean, we have DC paving.
I've got DL Construction Services. It looks like a C on here, but this address says DL in Noblesville.
This one says Indianapolis for this one on our sheet.
And which one is it for, the paving?
Yes.
The resurfacing project. And they have $693,929.15. It is DC. They have their return address wrong.
That's encouraging.
That's what happens when you have meetings on Monday. Things go bad.
Was that 693, was that for resurfacing and paving?
I'm sorry,
Was that for total?
just paving.
Just
Just
paving only?
resurfacing.
Yeah, each bid's different, so the preservation is a whole different bid, total different envelope. So this is all different.
This is Paul H. Rowe Company.
Okay.
They are $624,285.90. Milestone, $613,465.
Even?
Yep,
Milestone.
$613,465. That's just for the paving only.
It looks like we only have one bid for the preservation project.
Preservation project is Pavement Solutions, $293,080.30. You guys want to take those under advisement.
So moved.
Review,
Second.
a motion for both Reverend take those under review and advisement. Motion second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
We'll have a letter of recommendation for the award for your next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Andy, while you're still here, can you look at the Dave O'Meara and make sure that's the right amount? Because that's a little bit off from all the other ones. Please.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Move on down to item C. I've got Scott Hackleman presenting information regarding to the vacant alley. Well, you're not Scott, but come on up.
I'm Heather Meckes with Herbert Petroleum. I had to
Okay.
find his place. So
I'm
thank
sorry,
you for
Heather,
having
what was your last name again?
Heather Meckes, M-E-C-K-E-S. So I'm here to introduce the idea of
Go ahead.
closing the alley at one of our locations. And we're speaking about Whitewater Shell, which is at Vine and 44 and 1 across the river. We have the Shell location there, and then we've purchased a couple of the houses, and the third house is under purchase agreement now to be purchased that's behind it. And so we're proposing to close the
South of
alley.
it.
It's south, yes. We're proposing to close the alley so that we can expand our location. If you've ever been there, you can probably see that it's tight when people are there. We've got a lot of customers coming in and out, so we'd like to expand it a little bit to give people more room in and out for safety, as well as enlarge the store. So let me know what your questions are.
That'd be the alley on the south side.
Alley on the south side, yeah.
You wanted to close it all the way over, or you wanted to close it over to, what is
Just the other
To
alley?
the current alley that's there, yeah, so this is 44 and 1. I don't know if
There's
you
a
have
map
this.
on the board over there.
There you go.
It'd be easier to see.
That'd be great. Yes, so 44 here and 1, and the current store is almost underneath this canopy right here, is the current store, and there's a current alley here. This alley has already been closed, the car wash is there. So we're proposing closing this alley so that we can reconfigure, move the building back, which these are the 3 houses right now. There's 3 dilapidated houses that we'd like to tear down, and then move the building there. And so we have additional parking, a lot more space for people to come in and out.
so you just want to do it to the,
Just to here.
not all the way back to,
No, not back past the
Okay,
museum area.
okay.
No. No, so there'll still be flow of traffic in and out of here.
okay, gotcha. Okay, that was my question.
Is there still a garage located on that alley?
There is the Whitewater, or the car wash, yes, currently. And what
No,
we're gonna
I mean,
do- is this- is that
No,
what-
I'm talking about on Vine Street.
This one?
Yes, there's a garage just due south of where the canopy's at. There's a garage that accesses by that alley.
That will come down when the houses come down.
You bought all 3 of those
Yes.
houses?
Yes,
Okay.
we own 2, and the other one we will close within 60
That's number
days.
4.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, so all of that will come down. There will not be any new curb cuts, because we're gonna use the existing ones that are there. So I don't think we need to get NDOT involved. The only thing here would be, this is the side street, Lee Street, which is already a cut here for one of the driveways for the homes. We might have to move it a little bit. But that's what we're proposing. Do you have any other questions?
Motion to approve.
So the hard work is the council would have to, I think the council would have to consider the vacation of the alley. They were gonna come today and sort of explain the project.
So we don't know.
No.
Okay,
Under state law, a petition needs to be filed with the city council. And the statute provides what's required. You have to notify all the adjoining landowners. If you're going to be the adjoining landowner, well, that
yeah,
might
as long as
solve
it's
that
not going
problem.
back clear over, yeah.
So it's probably best that you purchase those first. That way you would,
We can notify, the one that we haven't closed on yet, it's a family member of the Herbert family, so we can notify.
but I'm not sure if then farther south, those would be considered adjoining landowners then, as you keep going. I'm not 100% sure about that. But you have to file a petition. The statute says what the petition has to, the circumstances, why you're doing it, the exact description of the property, so you'll need to get a legal description of that. Then the notice has to be sent out, and then the council will have to have to publish it, have to hold a hearing, and then it's up to the city council whether or not it's approved or not, and if there's any money involved and all that. So that's the procedure that has to be done.
Sounds good. We'll do it.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you need at this point? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I appreciate your interest in us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item B has been canceled. Item E, approval for quote for downtown strike poles. You have, first one is for McCombs to do the poles. The reason they're separate quotes like this is we budgeted money last year, but we were doing budget this time a year ago. Inflation really kicked in, and when we budgeted the money, it's going to be a little tighter. So we're having to kind of manage it ourselves and split it up and do it differently. Plus, it's very difficult to get people to quote work right now. So we had a hard time finding people, but trying to stick with local people. McCombs has the best price on the poles. There's 3 prices there. The first one, not really in favor of because we don't want galvanized. We want black poles. The second one's a powder coated pole. And the third one is zinc primer and powder coated. Brian, you're more in that world. I really don't know if there's much of a difference on doing just a regular powder coat versus zinc powder coat. I'm trying to save as many dollars as we can. We also want to get a good project. So I'm fine with the powder coated poles.
The zinc coating would actually be more of a primer to it.
Yes, it's just a primer.
It's like a rust inhibitor.
Is it worth the extra expense?
For an extra $1,000, probably.
Okay. I'm fine with either one of those. I just want to make sure.
Does that help with the elements, weather elements, stuff
Yes.
like that?
I know powder coating's tough. I didn't know if it was, if
What
the
is-
zinc added that much more to it is my question.
It helped more on the salt side of it. Salt might not deteriorate as fast. You know, the salt's still going to deteriorate the powder coating a little bit, but it's going to be more of a base primer for it. So
Keep it from rusting.
keep it from rusting as fast. It still will rust, but
Yeah, it's not that big of a difference, but I'm trying to squeeze every dollar, so I just want to make sure. So that's the first one on the poles. The other ones are we're paying for the concrete ourselves as a city. We're not going to run it through the contract. We got really 3 prices here. The one on top, the Gabbard, is the cheapest price. I've tried and tried and tried. I've been trying for a year trying to get people to bid this. It's almost impossible to get quotes right now. So I went out and found someone, said, can you help me find some people? These are the names they gave me. And we got some quotes from this group here, but and I'm fine with their work. Richard Gabbard's fine. But he came in the cheapest at $56,250. That could be less than that. It wouldn't give me a worst case scenario because we might change a lot as we go along. But that's install the light bulb bases. The pole base is just a concrete. The walkway paths going in between the sidewalk and the walking path, we can't do them everywhere. We have to be very cognizant of our slopes and our elevations. And then when you see the bump outs, just filling those in with concrete everywhere too, so we can have a nice solid surface there. We're trying to get more of a walkway through and create a nice environment where it's physically or visually pleasing. This does not include the price of the wires and the string lights. We're going to do those on our own. And the street department can help set those up. We got the bucket truck, we've got everything to do that. They can do the light pole bases as well, because it's a bolt on. And that's kind of fun with that. There aren't any landscaping in this yet, because we're still working on trying to get some ideas on funding for that, different things which we're working on. But this is just to cover the concrete, the lights, the concrete and light poles. That's what this is for right now. And I'm fine going with the zinc primer one. I mean, I got some wiggle room in that, but I also want to make sure. The other price I got for poles was like almost the entire budget. I was like, we can't do that just for poles. So Chase gave us a really good price.
is Chase doing it?
He's making it.
Is there going to be rebar on the concrete?
On the poles,
Yes.
there's going to be the bolt patterns that go down there. They're going to be in sonotubes, just like the light poles they got out there now.
Okay.
Those are prefab. These will be prefab. We'll pour them same, but the bolt patterns go down in there, so it'll be those.
Need a motion for accepting Cohn's bid and Mr. Gabber's bid.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept Mr.
Let me make a caveat, sorry, because Teresa has three different quotes. The 36,000 with the zinc primer.
With 36,000.
Correct.
Okay. For 36,000.
So I have a motion to accept the Combs 36,000 for the zinc primer and powder coated, and the
Second.
Gabbard fencing for 56,250 for the concrete. I have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carried. Move on now to department matters. Director Colter. You drop everything?
Perfect timing, right? Okay, I've got a few things for you today. I'll get through as quick as I can. A few months ago, I guess now, Aaron Johnson had decided to take a job in another city, and it turned out that she really missed Connersville and she really missed her job here. Although she liked the other place, she wants to be in Connersville, so I spoke to most of you about it. We decided to hire her back. I'd like for you to approve that. She's actually sitting at her desk this morning, so it was with all the things going on at the wastewater plant, it was a no-brainer to get her back. We need experienced eyes down there right now and on the project, and she's always done a great job, and so I was very happy that she made the decision to come back home.
Motion to approve.
Second.
How about a motion to rehire Aaron Johnson? Aaron Johnson, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Brad, I did have a question on that though.
Sure.
When it said on her new effective hire date will be October 14th, 2014.
So that's just to allow for vacation things, purposes that she wasn't accruing time while she was gone.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
2014, is that prorated from when she originally
Yeah, so her
started?
hiring date was, let's say, what's that new date, October?
October 14th.
Her
of
old hiring
2014.
date was like July something, so
Okay.
since she was gone for 3 months, we moved that date back. That's just sort of the way it's always been.
That's what I thought, I
done.
was just figuring better clarify. So,
Okay.
thank you.
And just so everybody knows, she'll be coming back at the same pay, everything that she had before her vacation time and all that stuff. She sold all of that when she left, so it'll take her a while to accumulate some, but she'll accumulate it with about 8 years or 8 or 9 years seniority. Okay, there was a cleaning and inspection quote on the Elephant Hill Tower. That tower is that tank is a big tank, and it's got sort of a structure inside of it that holds it together, so it requires a very good cleaning and inspection. You know, every several years, we try to, no more than 5 years, we try to get that inspected. So we've come to that point. The reason I only brought you one quote, this company right here, we use them on to inspect the cookie jar for us. And they did a really good job. They had the right equipment. It just went really well. And we've used a couple of other ones where it didn't go so well. There's about 3 or 4 companies that do it, and a couple of the others weren't. Nothing against them, but this is just a good, they did a really great job. We were very happy with their inspection. They video it, and, you know, show you a video of what it looks like in there. So I'd ask you to approve that so we can get started on that. We want to try to do it this summer.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You'll be hearing more about that project because we have to take that tank offline to clean it, and it causes everything in the world to happen on that end with the pressure, and we have to boost the pressure in the system to get service to people, and then we have to put pop-off valves all over, so there'll be hydrants spewing water out all the time. So I'll be giving you more news about that as we go along. The next one is, I talked to you a meeting or two ago about our leaks
situation and our water loss, and this is our next move in trying to find those water leaks. I've had a couple of meetings with this company in person. They came and showed us some of their equipment that they use to find leaks. It was pretty impressive. They think they can help us cut our water loss in half with what the situation that we've described to them. That's what they think they can do. This quote is in the ballpark of what we paid 5 or 6 years ago to have Emmy Simpson come in and do the same type of thing. But I like this company's equipment even better. It's very precise, and when we were out there checking it out, you can just hear the leak. When you get right on top of it, you can't hardly miss it. So I think this will be good for us, and hope you'll approve it.
I read through all of it on the quote, and it's pretty impressive from what I gather from what their equipment is and how they use it. So, no question, I make a motion we approve this.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Justin, can you put the pictures of the parking situation? Give me the one that, I think one of them's got the address. Yeah, there it is. We'll right back one. So, this is a parking situation at a business that I've been working on with a business owner about a month ago, maybe. You guys, I can't remember, David, voted in favor of an ordinance, and then the council voted for the ordinance to allow a parking space at that business. And the parking space that where the sign is now is in this area. And that turned out, that one parking space turned out to be inadequate for the situation. So I went up there and looked at it, and the way that is laid out, and part of the reason I thought of it is because I've seen pictures from the past. There used to be a printing business there where they had used diagonal parking. And so, switch to the next one if you would. You can see that the sidewalk's back here, and this is concrete between the sidewalk. So I took Bill McDaniel up and we looked at it. I showed the mayor a little bit about it, and I talked to Randy at the police department to see what everybody thought about the idea that she'll put stop, and this would be at her expense. She'll put stop bars here, and then there'll be diagonal parking, which will gain her 3 spots. And if you go by parking spots, she can only get a couple, barely one. And if people don't park right, then barely get one. So this just seemed like a good way to solve the problem. If you can get the ones where the cars are in the picture. So you can see we pulled some cars in there just to show how it's, they're not sticking way out in the road. They're not really sticking out much farther than that vehicle that's parked there. So there's an ordinance in place for a parking spot. What I'm proposing, if you're okay with it, this one's a little tricky because it sort of involves different bodies and different ways that we've done these in the past. Usually you guys have been approving the curb cuts. We would move this sign back to this spot so that would allow this diagonal parking to gain 3 spots for that business. And if we move that sign, I think we can do it within the present ordinance and don't have to change the ordinance. That sign says something to the effect of business hours parking only, 9 to 5 or something like that.
Will each one of the parking spots have that same sign?
So that parking spot, if you could keep flipping it back and forth here, you can go back to the one. So that parking, what would you call that? That parallel parking spot would be this one back here now. And then those 3 would be your diagonal spots. You could almost squeeze a 4th one in, but you're supposed to stay 14 feet off the alley with the parking there. So when we went up and measured it, that's what we come up with. And Bill thought this was a good idea and a good working solution. And like I said, I talked to Randy and he did too. But,
What's the ordinance say right now? What's
the ordinance that you passed like a month ago was just for that one single spot, single business hour parking only.
The one to the right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm asking you to do, if you think it's appropriate to allow her to do that, she's gonna pay for somebody to come there and stripe it and buy the stop bars. And if you would, one more time, go back to where the cars are sitting there. You know, maybe if there's a big old, really long dually truck or something, that might stick out a little bit in the road, but it seemed like about the only way that she's gonna have any parking there to mount anything.
And it looks like the cars are gonna be a little closer to the entrance than what it shows on the picture back there, because it looked like there was a big gap there, but it looks like it's gonna be pretty close.
But when I had those set, I know I don't have a good picture of it, but when I had those sitting there, those cars, those vehicles aren't on the sidewalk. The sidewalk's still open for
Okay.
somebody to walk through there or roll through there or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
We'll make sure that those stop bars are back far enough to where the sidewalk isn't blocked at all.
Well, I think it was a good suggestion you had, Brad.
It's a good
It helps the
solution.
business owner.
That's what I do. I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. I think the only question I would have would, I think all three spots need the signs showing that those three spots are business parking.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So put a sign in like where the stop bar is.
In front of it, yeah.
Saying,
That way there's no-
In front of each parking spot, saying these three spots are business only
Yeah.
That way
during
it
these hours.
keeps people from parking
All right.
afterward, yeah.
so, just to be clear, you're saying
Right, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, I agree with that.
all right. And the pictures of the wastewater plant, I just wanted to give you the most updated, like that picture, that's Wayne White took that from his airplane. That's a pretty nice picture of the site. Shows you a lot of what's going on. That the dewatering, the latest results that we got on our sampling, we still haven't had any hits of chemicals. Keep all the fingers and toes crossed because we're almost to the end of the dewatering. Hopefully, we're going to get through that without any problem. Again, as the dewatering discharge. If you, we'll go back to that last picture. I was just going to report to you that we just got permission from the DNR to fill in this hole. There's all kinds of excess dirt here. We got permission from them. They were showing it in their wetland inventory as a wetland, but they realized that it isn't. This was basically a borrow pit where they borrowed the dirt and pushed up here to build the transfer station on. So we're now allowed to use our excess dirt for here to fill in this hole. So we're going to start filling that in to grade from this way out, and I don't know if we have enough to fill in the whole thing, but we're going to gain some acreage here for our compost site.
Good.
It's a little tight down there right now.
What's the current compost acreage that we just got approved for, do you know? The compost site, what's the acreage that was approved?
That, adding that land
We got
was
this,
within it.
we added that.
Yeah,
I thought we did, but
I filed with them to get the okay within that permit to do to fill that
Okay.
in, just to make sure, so we didn't have to go back and redo it.
okay. I thought that's what we did, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
So we have when we do this, we have a drainage plan that we have to put in some drains that are gonna drain over to that area and things, so.
So next time we get the approval for or file the permit for the, we won't have to add any acreage to it. It'll just be, okay. I just wanted to clarify that.
And the last thing I wanted to tell you about in preceding you getting your packets for the next meeting, I just wanted to explain to you a little bit on those we haven't been giving you very good numbers because of this software changeover. And when you see those numbers, in particular on water, we just transfer a couple $100,000 because we were getting a little tight. But part of the reason that we are is we haven't been able to do any reconciling between office shares. Water pays the bills for all the utilities, and then wastewater and storm pays back water. And because of all the uproar we've had over this changeover, that hasn't been done yet this year. So there's at least a couple $100,000 sitting in storm and sewer that needs to come over into water as soon as we can get that fixed. So keep in mind when you see those balances that the sewer and the storm is a little bit higher and the water looks a little bit lower, but there's actually money there that needs to be switched over.
Got the CI task order.
That's all I got.
No.
Unless there's
No,
any
you
questions.
get the CI task order.
Commonwealth Engineers Task Order.
Yeah. You all have copies of that? Has anybody had a chance to look at that? What was it, about 80 pages or something?
Quite a bit. Not too much.
So, I've been talking to you for a while about the water main replacement projects, and this is the beginning of that. This is the engineering that will put things in a PER that we can apply for funding, loans, hopefully grants, to do some of these projects. We're shooting for doing, the projects would be built if it all goes through, and 2025 in probably March of 2024 we'll start applying to IFA for the funding and start to know where we stand with that. So to do that, we have to do pre-engineering and put all our ducks in a row, and that's what this project will do.
Any questions for him? None, entertain a motion to approve the CI task order.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Very.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just real short, last month, Chief Bowles come in and asked for permission to promote within 3 of our officers to the position of sergeant. Just reporting today on who we chose. We had many applicants. All of them were interviewed and went through a review process by our review board. The 3 that were chosen were Sergeant Scott Phillips. He's a 24-year veteran of the police department. Sergeant Kyle Miller. He has almost completed 6 years. And Sergeant William Ammerman, and he's almost completed 5 years. We look forward to having all 3 of those in the supervisor ranks, and we think they'll be a big asset. Any questions?
Need a motion to promote Phillips, Miller, and Ammerman to sergeant.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on down to old business. You don't have any old business? Miscellaneous business, I got a couple. First of all, I just want to congratulate Anaya Bennett. She is our 200-meter state champion. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Must be allergies. That is quite an accomplishment, even more that she's a freshman.
Wow.
That's just amazing. And if you see the roster she competed with, they were all juniors and seniors. So that's just a great accomplishment. She's doing a wonderful job. I just want to congratulate her, and we're proud of you. We're behind you, and just great job, Anaya. And the last one, sorry, it's a little emotional. The 2023 graduating class. Just a great class. It's getting harder. I got one left in high school now. I guess it's getting harder on me personally as a dad. This is my 3rd one graduating. I got one left. It started to hit me hard. I just want to congratulate him. Congratulations, Gavin. Great job. Any other miscellaneous business? If not, claims.
Claims for June 5th, 2023, the city at $73.09. Payroll, $552,339.70. Utilities, $411,424.56.
Okay, motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anybody from the public have anything to say? No one? I'll make a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Have a good day.